heard it. All right. All right, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen these hands before. These are beautiful. These nails, like they slide them backwards like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. And then here's another one. And I'm going to go ahead and pull her out like this. There we go. And I am going to do like brand new nail beds here. Okay. So these are actually full coverage tips that I use on this hand. And you slide them in backwards. It's actually a little bit disturbing how this goes down, but slide it in backwards like this. There you go. And now you have like a brand new nail bed. And I like this color of nail because it's like a natural color and it looks like a great natural nail bed. Okay, so we'll go ahead and slide a couple of those in here. All right, there we go. So we have our brand new nail. So great. Okay, you guys can still see me, right? Just making sure. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this hand is going to be, we are working on getting this hand to make this hand available to all of you guys because it is so amazing. And it's also one of those that it's like, it looks so real, right? And then when you're doing full sets of nails, even down the road, and you're taking photographs of yourself or of your work and things like that, you have a beautiful model that's available all the time. So isn't it amazing? Like so amazing. So yes, we are working on getting this hand available for all of you guys and the Nail Tech store as well. So amazing. Yes, I love it. Okay, so now that we have our nail beds in place, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a couple tips here. And we're going to start doing a little bit of nail preparation and nail tip fitting. Okay. So I had pulled out a couple tips already just to make sure that they were all fitting very well. So something that I want to show you guys maybe up close is that when we're like this is our lateral sidewall here. And this is our lateral sidewall here. And we want to pull the skin back just a little bit when we're trying to choose a tip that fits the best. Okay. And you don't want it too big. This one is actually just right. So when you're looking at the nail on the side, you want it to come straight out that lateral sidewall and straight out the lateral sidewall both ways, right? And the same with this one. Pull back those lateral sidewalls and go from this side to this side. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to prepare this nail. So I had showed you guys at one point, like how you go up the side, across the back, and then down the other side. Want to make sure that we remove all of the shine from the nail. Get all this. Okay. And something I have noticed, and this is something that I've even said in a lot of your assessments, is that sometimes we need to shorten the natural nail so that when we're applying our tips, that everything fits nicely. So we kind of want them to be like a puzzle piece, right? So like this right here, this area right here, we want the natural nail to slide right in there. So here we may actually take this natural nail down just a little bit. And if you can make all of your natural nails match, that's going to help you in the long run, especially as you're going through and doing your full sets. You're doing pink and white full sets, whatever it is, that's what we need to do. So make sure your nail beds are about the same length. You see that? They're about the same length. Okay. And that's really going to help you down the road. We'll go ahead and do this one as well. So up the side, across the back, down the side. And this is just removing the shine. We're not like getting deep and taking off layers and layers of the natural nail. And sometimes we get confused about that and we get a little frustrated. So we'll go ahead and get that all filed down, kind of file our little corners here so that it will match perfectly with our tip. Remove that dust. I'm sure you guys are recognizing a lot of these products here, right? The brush and the tips and everything. So, okay, so we have our tips here. So now we're going to see how it slides right in there. See, it's like a puzzle piece. It's like a glove. I don't know if you can see that if I get up close. Right? See? So when we're applying our tip, I have mentioned this before, we need to actually hit the corner like that free edge first and then kind of roll back. So let me put a little bit of glue on here and I'll show you what I mean. So grab our glue. I'm just using just a regular nail glue. It's just a little shiny little nail glue. I don't know if you can see that. All right. Press into our free edge and roll it back. And you can see how sometimes that glue seeps out just a little bit in the back. It's not that big of a deal. We'll just wipe it right off. No big deal, right? Now, you guys have been doing this already? Been like rolling back your nails like that? All right. We have a little bit there. We'll just hold it. Sometimes when you're doing plastic to plastic, it takes a minute longer, right? Than it does like on a natural nail. At least that's something I've noticed. Hold it there for a second. All right. Good. We'll grab this one. Same way, we're going to look from side to side, look down our lateral side walls. And if you feel like there's a little bit of a ledge here, there is no shame in taking that down like this. Now here, I'm going to show you a tip. Okay, this is a little trick. Now, a lot of times when you're there and you're putting on your tips, you might think to yourself, it's so hard to blend and blend and blend and get them all down on that natural nail, right? So what about this? What if you were able to file down this well a little bit before you even applied the nail? That's helpful, right? So take your file. There is no shame in running across your tip like this and this and this. Get it all done nice and thin before you ever apply it to the nail. You can even come down just a little more. And then remember how I go on your assessments and I'll say, hey, you know, don't file too much on the natural nail. Well, here you've just eliminated a whole step where you've been able to file down a lot of it before you ever even apply it to the natural nail. So that is like a tip of the pros. Okay. Put our glue on it, move it forward. Already, can you see how much we were able to blend that down? You guys, come on, tell me that's amazing. Oh. I'm a big dork. I love what I do. What can I say? Okay, so let this dry for just a second. Okay, wipe off our little excess. See, wipe off the excess, no big deal. So look at the difference already. This one, where we have all the blending to do, and this one where we've already half blended it. This is going to be a huge tip for you guys. I hope you love that. Okay, so let me grab our clippers. Now we have lots of different nippers out there to shorten these. You guys have seen, I know, the one style, but I'm going to use this style. And we'll go ahead and shorten it to about like that. Grab this one, we'll do the same. About like that. All right, and then if you kind of hold the fingers close and you see that they're nice and even, looks good. So now let's go ahead and blend them. Now this is the one that we already had blended partially. So we're just gonna file across that tip and across that line, just a little. We don't even have to do a whole lot. And that's gonna be great. This is where you learn a lot of control with your file. And it's not, I'm not actually hitting that natural nail. I'm just hitting the tip. And that's where you can see I actually protect myself and I'm putting my thumb here, right? All right, so it slides back out of place. Sorry. All right, did you see that? We just went right over that tip and it's now nice and blended. You see that? Now here, we'll do the same over here. And because we actually did that glue like seeped out just a little, we're just gonna break that seal on the sides because we don't want that glue in our cuticles at all. Break that down. You can see that has quite a ledge there. So let's go ahead and take that down. Take it down, take it down, take it down. And I know that a lot of you have already taken the class to where you are already past this module, but it will be super helpful to you. A little bit more, and you can see that I'm actually not filing on the natural nail. It's still just that tip. All right, a little more. And then we get to move on to the fun part, right? All right, here we go. Okay, so here we go. 2 nails, beautifully blended. We didn't dig into the natural nail, which that's one of the great things about practice, practice, practice is it won't dig into that natural nail. So that's great. All right, there we go. All right. Okay, nice and set. Ready, ready, ready. So now the next part is acrylic, right? I love it, I love it. So move this out of the way. And we are going to do 2 acrylic nails today. The first one we'll do is our standard pink and white, okay? So I have adorable little palette. I don't know if I ever showed you guys this. Look at this. Oh, here, right? So my son made this for me when he was like 3 and he's almost 18. So if that tells you how long I've had it. But I use that the whole, like every time I do nails. I have my little dapping dish and I have my brush. All right. There's Cheryl. She's like officially the one in the chat. So if you guys have any questions and you raise your hand and I don't see you, or and really, I mean, we're a small enough group. If you want to unmute yourself to ask the question, please, by all means, unmute yourself, ask the question, and we'll listen. Or if you feel more comfortable typing, you can always type to Cheryl in the chat and she'll answer it for you. So, okay. So we're going to do pink and white, okay? All right, now how many of you are struggling with your beads? You can like use your reactions. You can, you know, clap, thumbs up, however you want to do it. Let's talk about our beads for just a minute, okay? So when you use your acrylic brush, you dip it in just the tip and it acts like little straws. So let me show you up close here, okay? Dip it in like this, just the very tip, and it acts like straws. You see how wet your brush gets? The whole thing gets wet. You can see that it has a lot of liquid in it. So when you're doing a bead, you just dip it in, just the tip, do one little swipe. Okay, I'm gonna set that down. And then here's our white. You drag forward until it looks almost like an orange peel. That's like a perfect way to describe a perfect bead, is like an orange peel. Hold on just a second. We have someone else that wants to come in. Yay! All right. Okay. So let me show you again. So dip it in, let it suck up all with the straws, and then drag across here. And it looks like an orange peel. Okay. That's an excellent bead. And that's the one we're going to use. So we're going to lay it here and just press it, kind of let it sit there for a second. And then we're going to maneuver, pushing it up in the corner over here. Then we're going to push it up in the corner over here. Okay. And then before I drag it forward, I'm actually going to really work on my smile line. So using the very tip of my brush, kind of rolling my little brush around, we're going to get that smile line just perfect. And there really is nothing quite as satisfying as a perfect smile line. Really, there isn't. Nice edge. And acrylic is very different than working with gel, but working and getting that smile line perfect will always make you feel very good. And now we're going to use the belly of our brush. And we're just going to pat and drag just a little, drag that bead down to the free edge. Now, something I'm noticing in a lot of the assessments is there's a lot of like piling and piling and piling of acrylic. And we're using so much product that's impossible for us to file it down. Did you notice that I was able to do that entire free edge, the whole thing, with one bead? Okay, so just one. If you need, you can go in here and just crisp it up just a little bit more. You have about 60 seconds for your acrylic to set. Okay, check that out. Isn't that pretty? Goes all the way from one side to the other. Make sure we don't knock out our corners. Sometimes we do that. I know you guys know exactly what that is, knocking out those corners on the side. All right. Okay, so there is our beautiful smile line. And it's not too thick. Now I want to show you guys this. Don't look crazy. I'm going to bend her finger backwards, okay? Look at that. We have not filed anything. And you can see with that one bead that it's nice and smooth all the way across, right? Okay. I mean, people's fingers aren't supposed to do that, right? I mean, sometimes my fingers do that, but they're not supposed to do that. Zoom can be so hard. It's so different than like Facebook Live because it's not like I could see your reactions. I really hope I'm making you laugh just a little, okay? All right, so now let's look at how to make a pink bead. Now, did you know that pink and white or colors or clear, everything reacts differently, okay? Hi, Stephanie. Okay, so they all react differently with your acrylic liquid and your powder. And that's because the size of the molecules are different. The pigments are different. Red and black are very, very, very runny. And you'll even notice that white is runnier than like a clear or a clear pink, anything that's translucent. So let me show you. So here is just a big container of just a pink. Once again, dipping it in, letting it like slurp up like a straw, and then dragging across your powder. And see, nice bead, kind of looks like an orange peel. Okay, so that would be an excellent bead. You should be able to just drop it right on your nail. All right, let's do it again. We'll go ahead and use this one. Okay. Now, did you know sometimes, like every time I do a set of nails, I will come in and I will practice beads a few times, because what I notice is that the weather changes and my acrylic acts differently. Yeah, definitely weather changes, humidity, heat, all kinds of things like that. Go ahead and stroke down just a little. So that's the biggest bead that we used right there. And that's that apex that we're always looking for. I think we'll be able to do this in 2 or 3 beads. So here's our second bead. Drop it here. And we are going to feather this back towards the cuticle, okay? And then we're able to drag that forward very, very lightly. Okay. So now we can see from the side, I'm trying to like hold her up close to you guys. Okay. That she comes straight out of the lateral sidewall, feathered back towards the cuticle, and the thickest, highest part of her nail is right here, which is the apex, okay? So every time that I send you a message or I say, hey, we need to fix this or let's work on this, these are the things that we're looking for, okay? I'm hoping that helps you see it all up close, okay? I did notice there's a little tiny edge over here. We're gonna grab that right here. Just kind of move that acrylic around where we want it to go, okay? All right. So there is our pink and white. This is just a salon style pink and white nail, okay? We're gonna go ahead and let that one just cure. While that one's curing, we're gonna move over to this one, okay? And I am gonna show you how to do like an ombre style nail, okay? So let's start with our white again. So practice with our little slurping and a white bead. We'll drop it here on the tip. And we're actually going to feather this backwards. Pressing it backwards, not working on that smile line the way we did before. We're feathering it backwards, almost right into that tip that we just blended so beautifully, kind of feathering it back. See how we're patting it, feathering it back. This is such a beautiful look, but it can be so tricky to achieve. So I'm so excited to do this for you. It's kind of like a little bonus, okay? All right. See, there's a little bit of a bulb right on the front end. I don't know if you can see that. So we're going to go ahead and pat that and drag it out because we don't want that. I would rather file very little. So I've learned to sculpt as best I can with my brush. So here we have just a little bit of excess on the free edge. I'm gonna go ahead and just take it off. There's no need to leave it there. Just take it off, okay? And then we can smooth it out. Smooth, 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 smooth. Once again, I'm gonna show you her free edge, okay? So you see how just nice and smooth it is. Here's her free edge with the finger that's not supposed to bend like that, but yep, there you go, okay. And then we're going to use a pink that is a cover pink. Now, have you guys used many cover pinks yet? Because I am kind of in love with them and I found where you could like blend a lot of your own. So let me grab one. Okay. So this is a cover pink that I actually made. So cover pink is, it actually came out, let me think, probably about, I want to say like 18 years ago is when cover pink first came out. And it was for people that really wanted like a French manicure. But maybe they had like that leukonychia, right? The white spots, or maybe their nails grew backwards, or maybe they just didn't have really pretty natural nails and they wanted like an elongated nail bed. So they came out with Cover Pink, and they used like a cool pink and a warm pink. And that means that it is opaque. You cannot see through it. That became the industry standard for French manicure, was to use a Cover Pink. So I actually made this Cover Pink, and I don't know if you can see, it has just the tiniest bit of sparkle, not like crazy amount of sparkle, just a tiny bit. Okay. So we're going to take that and we are going to do a bead, right? And I don't know if you can see, this acts more like white than like the clear pink does. So remember how I told you every color acts differently. We'll go ahead and grab that, just a small bead, drop it here. And we are going to feather backwards. We don't want to place a bead down and then like smooth it all out and completely lose what we were after. This is our apex, right? So we want this to be a little bit higher than the others, than the other beads. So then with a very light touch, I'm just dragging that forward over that white. You see that? Very light touch. Grab another little bead. Now this is not a thick nail at all, because I want to show you something kind of cool. Feather back towards the cuticle. You guys know the drill. And don't touch the sidewall. Don't touch the skin. Okay. So there's this little spot right here where we need to really just blend that out just a little more. We'll grab a little bead, drop it here. Incidentally, this is also our apex area. So we'll feather backwards to blend into the existing bead, and then we'll drag forward to hide, just blend into that white just a little bit, okay? Now I saw something really, really cute today. It was a gal, she had this, they call it like a baby boomer or an ombre, right? See, doesn't that look great? Oh, looks so good. Nice and blended. You don't see like this white line that's like dividing it. You don't see a pink line that's dividing it. It's just a nice blended look. Okay. But this girl that I saw she had this, but she had just a little bit of glitter over that pink fade. So I grabbed just a little bit of glitter. Now this is Profiles glitter, and the nail tech store carries Profiles. So you want to definitely check that out. Now it looks a little bit purple, but it's really not when you get it really thin. So we're going to take the pink that we used earlier, and we're going to take just a little bead, and then we're going to dip it in that glitter. Okay. Drop it on here. And we can just kind of push that glitter around just a little bit. Kind of drag it forward. We need a tiny bit more. We could do that. Drop it back here. Kind of just move that glitter around just ever so slightly. See what I mean? It's not really purple. It kind of comes out with like this really cute pink color. All right. So then when we file this, I'm gonna pull it up close to you guys. You see that? Look how cute. And we have not even filed her, and her apex is in a great place. She's coming straight out of the lateral sidewall. So these are some of the things that I'm really, really looking at when I'm doing your assessments, is that we have the same smile line across the board, that they're nice and thin, right? That it's coming straight out from your lateral sidewall, and that the apex is in the right spot. So those are just some things that I've been watching for, okay? So now we'll let that dry, and I have to just look. If you feel like your glitter is just a little bit too exposed, you can add just a thin. It's almost like, I call it an acrylic wash. Okay. Drop like a little wet bead, kind of cover over your glitter and just kind of drag it forward. That way, you know, when you go in there and you're filing, that you're not going to file and expose your acrylic glitter. I'm sorry, you're not going to expose your glitter. Okay, so here's our 2 cool nails. Okay, so we're going to let those cure. This one is ready. We can actually start filing it, clean everything up now. Okay, you guys are closing up all of your acrylic before you file, right? Please tell me you're doing that. Okay, because if your brush is out there like this, just hanging out, or it's hanging above on your lamp, or it's just over here in the corner, and you start filing, you're gonna get stuff all over your brush, and then your brush is gonna be solid and acrylic, and it's gonna be gross, okay? So when you're done applying your acrylic, whatever liquid you have left, that is what you use to clean your brush. Acetone should never need to touch your brush. If you use just enough to get all of that out, you should be fine. Like, just only use monomer. It's the only thing that should ever touch your brush, okay? And let's say that you did get something in your brush. You did get acrylic that's just kind of hanging out there. You can soak it in a little bit of monomer. It will loosen it up, and then you can take, you know, little nippers and just kind of slide it right off of your brush, okay? I'm just giving you guys, like, these are like huge tips. You know how long it took for me to learn this stuff? Man, okay. All the benefits of hanging out with Phoenix for an hour, even when she's stuck in traffic. Okay. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and put all of this away. Throw away my stinky things. You know what else I do? Okay, so my stinky paper like this, right? I actually put it in a water bottle, an empty water bottle, and actually stuff it inside the empty water bottle and then put the cap on. And did you know that that actually keeps the smell down? Because what smells is not the fact that you're using acrylic. What smells is your garbage, okay? It's that continuous odor. And if you're doing a ton of clients every single day, you don't want that continuous odor. So put it in a little water bottle and put the lid on and push it away, okay? Kind of smart, right? Okay, so now we have our nail, and we'll come straight down our lateral sidewall this way, and straight down our lateral sidewall this way. And then we'll go straight across our free edge. And so if we do it like this, where it's straight up and down, if we actually angle our file just a little and go back and forth this way, that's where we're gonna get our nice little squoval. Kind of softens those corners a little bit. Soften this corner. The square is so beautiful, but those corners are so sharp. So I'm just kind of taking them down just a little, okay? Clean off that free edge just a little bit. All right. Okay, and then we're going to file, and we'll file up one side, across the back cuticle, and then down the other side. If you have applied your acrylic properly, you're not going to have a ledge here. And this is something I've said to a lot of you in your assessments. If you can take your fingernail and go like this, and if it catches on something, you know you have a ledge you have to file. But if it doesn't and it goes nice and smooth, you know that you have it nice and flush to the cuticle, and that's really important. Then we'll go up, across the middle, and then down. And I am using my entire file and across the middle, and I'm actually leaving the apex alone. And then down. And then I'm doing the same with my free edge and down. And then I flipped my file over and I went to a higher like a higher grit. This is a 150. And I'm able to use that and kind of smooth everything out, come down my free edge just a little. And then I always look down the barrel of my nail. And we want to make sure that this is nice and smooth all the way across. We'll go from one side across the top and down the other side to make sure that it's nice and smooth and that it is the same thickness. That is a big deal. And I know those cameras, man, they add 10 pounds even to our nails, right? We could be sitting there looking, oh man, our camera, everything looks so good. That nail is beautiful. And then I send you a response back and I'm like, it's a little thick. You know, I know it adds 10 pounds, but I'm gonna show you something. You ready? Here we go. We're gonna bend her nail backwards again. See how thin her nail is? Nice and thin. Okay, it's about the thickness of a credit card. Nothing more than that. So the strength of our nails does not come from thickness of product. It comes from the structure of the nail, which if your apex is in the right spot and you've applied your product perfectly, then you don't have to worry about it. Your structure is good. Okay, so there we go. Beautiful nail. All right. What do you think there, guys? Not too bad, right? Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, let's move on to our beautiful ombre nail, okay? Go ahead and take it down the side. Take it down the side again, over here. Do our free edge. Edge. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and go up the sides, across the back cuticle, and down the other side. You'll see how good it was that we did that little acrylic wash because it did just fix that nail so nice. Put that glitter just kind of covered up and we don't have to worry about it popping through. And we're able to get our white nice and white. Got those little couple pieces of glitter off our white. We want our white shiny and pretty. We don't want that all glitterified, just the back, okay? All right, same, we're gonna look down the barrel, go up and across and down the barrel and up and across and down the barrel. Clean underneath real good. All right, I think, put your back in. All right, I think this looks pretty darn good, guys. Let me just make sure one more once over, huh? All right, so now I think what we should do is let's go ahead and top coat it so that you can see, because that just makes all the difference in the world, right? And what's 2 more minutes of our day, right? Let's do it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a top coat. I'm gonna fold this towel out of the way so our nail dust doesn't get everywhere. All right, fold that out of the way. And I have a really pretty top coat from Profiles. All right, when you apply your top coat, you drop it here, away from the cuticle, and then you kind of push back and feather it into the cuticle, and then come forward. Over here, same way. Here, drag forward. Beautiful. All right, you ready for this magic? Get up close because this is a good one. Drop it here, press back. This is like magic, right? Woo! Check that out. So pretty. We have just that little bit of sparkle in our ombre or our baby boomer. This is such a big look right now. But isn't that pretty? All right, nice. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cure these. There we go. Okay. All right. So how do you guys feel? You just learned how to do like a really good tip and application, blending application, and you were able to see how to do a really good acrylic nail with a beautiful French smile line. And you got to see the cool little ombre or baby boomer with a little bit of glitter. Totally worth it, right? A whole like 45 minutes on a Saturday and we did some cool nails. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming. And if you would like to send me any emails, you know, it's assessments@miragespaeducation.ca. I will be here and I will answer your questions. And Shyla Ray, of course you did. You are an awesome student. And I love it when I see your work. I loved seeing your name here today. So thank you guys so much. And
Phoenix, it's Cheryl here.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. I just want to pop in and just remind everyone that we are starting our membership club coming up. So I don't know if you want to take a minute and explain that. That's coming. So we're doing promo for January, February, and March. And then in April, it will be membership only. So do you want to take some time and talk about that for a little minute?
Absolutely. So what Cheryl's talking about, and we kind of have given you guys a little bit of tidbits, is that we are getting ready to start a membership. Now, the membership for the first 3 months, so January, February, March, you will get to join the membership for free, no charge. And then after that, there will be a fee. But this is what you get, because you're like, all right, well, I want to pay for it, but what am I going to get? Okay, you're going to get education like this with me once a week. Okay, you will get 45 minutes to an hour. We will do this. You have, you know, unlimited access to me, as of course, when we do demonstrations like this. So you'll get one of those every week, and it's going to be a variety of subjects, a variety of application skills. It'll be sometimes nail art based, different products. Like, it's going to be so good for you guys to see. Then also once a month, you're going to be able to hear an interview. Now we have what it's Sculpting for Success. Sculpting for Success is what we are doing once a week. And Cheryl, remind me what the other one is. My brain just went, oh. I can't remember. She'll tell us what it's called. Anyway,
yeah. Hi, it's Ask Beauty Questions.
Oh, thank you. Okay, Ask Beauty Questions. Thank you. So the Ask Beauty Questions is once a month, and I'm actually going to be conducting an interview with an industry leader. So you guys, that means that there are people out there that maybe you look up to and you think, oh my goodness, if I just had, you know, 2 minutes to talk to this person, or if I had 30 minutes to listen to what this person knows, I would do anything for that. So these are going to be industry leaders, people who have been in charge of competitions, people who have huge blogs, people who have worked on research and development in the background, people who have written entire books about the beauty industry. People that you would never have access to unless it was through something like this. And now you'll have access to them. So you'll get that as well. So we are, of course, launching it. I know it's the middle of the month, which is why we're going to do a couple bonus classes on Saturday, you know, to get it. So you get all 4 this month, plus our interview with an industry leader. So just kind of want to tell you guys about that. And as students, you get the first 3 months for free. It's like enough to like hook, line, and sinker you. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't live without this. I need this in my life. And as a professional, it's important to stay very on top of the new things that are coming up in the industry. So that's what it is. And that's exciting, right? Applause all around. Yes.
Next.
Yes.
Okay, we are also doing the closed Facebook group for the people that belong in the membership have access to that too.
Yes. And so I will actually be moderating that. So I don't know if you heard what she said, but we'll be having a Facebook group. It's a closed Facebook group. So it's not open to anyone else. It's just those members. So of course you guys are included in that for the first 3 months, and you'll have, access to our videos. You'll have access to our interviews. You'll have these things so that down the road, if you wanted to go back and follow along with the tutorial or whatever it is, you have access to that. And if you have questions, or for example, okay, I had a student, she sent me an email. It was a couple weeks ago, and she sent me a picture of a different kind of tip that she had ordered, and she was wondering about it. I think it was an aquarium tip. She's like, hey, can you tell me about this? I was able to answer her question and help her specifically with that kind of tip. Now, being part of a closed group, you guys could do the same thing. You'd be like, hey, I got this. I'm wondering what you think about how to use it. Or, especially if it's nail art related, this is really such an artistic industry that being able to have that access and answer questions. And then of course, you guys are now networking and you're bouncing off of each other like crazy. So think about that as well. So then you have your entire, and this is not just Canada. This is not just the United States, not just North America. This is something that is international, and we will have students from all over the world. So think about that for a source of education as well. So that is what's so exciting. What do you think? Yeah. Now we can applause all the way around, right, Cheryl? So
yeah, no, it's going to be absolutely awesome. And we're really excited to launch it. It's the first time we've ever done anything like that. So we're just really pumped, and we're just going to, extend the gift to you guys for the first 3 months and get it going so that we can make it happen for you. And it'll just be great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then of course you'll get access to different things, like if there's a new product that's going to be available at the nail tech store or something like that, you guys are going to be the first ones to hear about it. For example, I'm showing you this amazing hand here today, and the first question was, oh, is that going to be available at the nail tech store? Well, you guys will be the first ones to know that stuff too. So that's super exciting. So once again, if you have any questions, you know how to get in touch with me. I am here. And again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me today and for being so patient. And I will never even leave my house again, ever, on Zoom day, ever. Just saying. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, bye everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks. Have a great day.